Hey there everyone, welcome to Violet's Dream Tarot. So we're going to be doing the love predictions reading for June. I've already done the general predictions reading for June. There was one pile that was very focused on love in that reading, and I'm not kind of asking a specific question when I do those readings, so sometimes love comes up, sometimes it doesn't, but you guys really like it when I do the separate love predictions and general predictions readings for each month. So this is the love focused reading. We've got lots of cards specifically about love, and then we'll also use some other oracle cards that I felt drawn to, charms, dice as always, to see what messages we've got coming up. Big welcome to all of my new subscribers. I got a little upswing recently, which is lovely. Welcome if you're new as well. Please do consider subscribing. It really helps my channel get seen by more people and helps us grow our family here. Thank you to all of my patrons, including the lovely Alexandra, Kat, Kelly, Chris, Virginia, and Cara. Thank you so much, you guys, for all of your support. And just thank you to each and every one of you for being here. You all send me such lovely messages in the comments. You all really uplift me with your energy. So today, these are the cards that have come out for the piles. It's the kind of theme that I've been doing recently, is not putting kind of objects on the piles, but putting out cards that have fallen out for each pile. So I shuffle and I go, give us a pile marker for pile 1, pile 2, etc. And I take whichever card falls out for each pile. And they've often been very relevant to either the kind of message that's come through or what that person who's chosen that pile seems to be going through. So if we take a look at pile 1, and also we're going to be choosing a gnome because that's what I do with my love predictions readings, but we'll start off with pile 1. So pile 1 has this picture of someone who's got all these different faces, and they are this kind of infinite cosmos inside of there, but it's almost like they don't know who they should be. They have such a limitless person beneath this, but they're trying to fit into one category. And we'll be using the Happy Tarot for pile 1. So maybe if you're feeling drawn to pile 1, you might be going through something similar. Maybe you feel like you're trying to please everyone all at once, or you're not sure who your authentic self is anymore because you're, someone who changes a lot when you're around different people to try and fit in or to gain approval. Maybe you just feel like you're up and down emotionally right now because there's a lot of different kind of emotions expressed in those masks there. Then on pile 2, we've got this old lady who is right in front of a tornado, and she's just got this little paper aeroplane. She looks completely calm and serene. She's not bothered about this at all. Kind of makes me think of keeping calm in a crisis situation. Calm before the storm, maybe, if you're expecting a lot of turbulent times to come your way. Also makes me think of the Wizard of Oz a little bit, with the tornado that's going to take her to, a different place. We're using the Deviant Moon Tarot for pile 2. Really evocative cards coming out today. And then on pile 3, we've got these children who seem to be picking up these eggs or orbs at the beach. You can see the sea in the background. Sunny, expansive sky. And for a long time, this puzzled me. Like, I wasn't sure what to make of this card. And then I just felt it's like finding your purpose or finding what gives you joy. And it's almost like new life in a way. When the child finds their orb, they're being lifted up into the sky. So it's like this new understanding of who you are once you find that thing, or once you have that realization. And pile 3 will be using the Ramses Tarot of Eternity. So they're the piles, and you can just choose your pile for now if you want to, if you find choosing 2 things overwhelming. Just kind of ask yourself, what's coming up in my love life in June, or what can I expect in love in June? But also, you can choose a gnome, and the gnome will give you some extra messages, a couple more cards, some channeled messages, etc. So these are the main readings, the piles, and then the gnomes give you a few extra things to make it more of a personalized reading. So I'm going to show you the gnomes now as well, but you don't have to choose this now. You can come back after you've watched your main reading and choose your gnome. So Gnome A is Gismund. Always in the background of my readings, my little gnome guardians. Stars of my show. Gnome B is Gunvald. Gnome C is Geir. And Gnome D is Gjord. So whichever gnome is calling out to you, you feel has a message for you. You can choose more than one, and you can choose more than one pile if you want to. If you feel really drawn intuitively to a particular pile and there's also another one that's kind of nudging you, that's completely fine. Just take what resonates and leave what doesn't, as always, you guys. And I'm going to start with pile number 1. Hey there everyone, welcome to your main reading if you chose pile 1 with this person who kind of seems to have a lot of masks but maybe doesn't know who their true self is, or has kind of lost sight of that through wearing all of these masks, and also the Happy Tarot. This is going to be your main reading, and then whichever gnome you chose, or we'll go back to the start and choose when you've watched this, we'll give you kind of extra messages, channeled messages, a few cards to make it more of a layered, more of a personalized reading. So what's coming up in love in June? We'll start with the tarot. Okay, that card wanted to come too, so we'll take it. So the Hermit, I saw that flash up as your first card. Makes a lot of sense with the pile marker that you've picked. Then we've got King of Cups, the Death card, Ace of Cups, and then this card that wanted to jump as well is Two of Cups. So lovely little connection of cards there. Virgo, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, especially Scorpio coming through here. Feels like you guys are taking a break from a relationship, or are just kind of spending a lot of time evaluating a crush or a relationship that you have or have had, because I feel like some of you are doing a lot of reflection on the past. You know, how did that go on for so long, or how did I get myself into that kind of relationship dynamic? I feel like you guys are ready for change, because we've got Death right in the center of the reading there, this transformative energy, and then we've got an ace, okay, so like a new beginning. And also you can kind of see it like this: the King of Cups is the end of the cup suit, and then you've got the Ace of Cups, so it's like the ending, the transformation, and the beginning. Okay, so I feel like a lot of you are either in separation from someone, considering getting back together with them, or you're kind of evaluating past relationships because you're ready for something new and you don't want to make the same mistake, so you want to avoid certain types of people, you want to be on the lookout for certain kinds of behaviors. I really see there's been a lot of soul searching, you know, a lot of who am I, what am I here to do, what do I want over the past few months. But this is very promising. This looks like there could be someone coming your way in June, or growing closer to someone that you already have in mind. Let's get a Romance Angel card. Lovely Two of Cups. New love, yes. A new person has stirred your romantic feelings. So there is this new opportunity when it comes to love in June. It feels like there is someone, either someone new on your radar, or someone that you want to reconnect with. Maybe someone that you've been growing closer to for a long time. You know, maybe it's been a friend or a colleague, and you just think, you know, I want this to cross the border from friendship or professional relationship into something more romantic. Love makes the difference. That's number 31. Love helps heal past hurts and provides a sense of security and self-worth. So there is a lot here about kind of challenging past difficult experiences, past hurts, past wounds, past trauma, difficult memories. Do something for someone. Number 41. Give your attention to another. Yeah, it does feel there's someone on your radar. It does feel like there's someone you're trying to get the attention of, someone that you want to, you know, get to notice you more often. But it feels like a nice connection, whatever it is. It feels like someone who's supportive, because we've got this card about, you know, love making the difference, love changing how you feel about yourself and about the past, etc. It feels like you guys have put a lot of work into yourselves, and this is where I want to connect it back to the pile marker and also the Hermit card. It kind of feels as though now going into a relationship or going into the dating world, you're kind of coming at it from a more stable foundation than you maybe did in the past, if that makes sense. It's like you've got a clearer understanding of who you are, a clearer sense of self. So it's going to be less easy for people to mold you, or for people to kind of make you question yourself, which is great. You have ground yourself, number 15. Yeah, very, very important, especially if you have been out of the dating game for a while, or have had a very difficult past connection that might affect the way that you relate to other people in relationships in the future. Ground yourself, take it slowly, enjoy this, because the Ace of Cups and Two of Cups tells me that a lot of joy is coming your way, and the new love as well. A very supportive and happy connection. But for your own sake, don't rush it. So I'm going to get a message from the masculine and feminine here. I'm going to use a goddess deck and a god deck, and you might feel that you're a woman but that you have more of a masculine energy. This is going to be about energies rather than biological sex, because obviously there are same-sex partnerships that people are asking about as well. So if you just kind of ask yourself, okay, what kind of relationship dynamics do I tend to get into, or what am I looking for here? What's my predominant energy? That will tell you which card is going to be about you and which one is going to be about the person you're asking about or the person you're looking for. So we're going to get the message from the feminine first, ladies first. Hecate, protection. Yeah, and I did get this a little bit. It's almost as though the feminine is, in a sense, guarding their heart a little bit, guarding themselves, not wanting to give away too much too quickly. Maybe you have been out of relationships for a long time if you're the feminine in this instance, and you're just thinking, you know, I don't want to rush into anything. It's where the ground yourself maybe comes in. The hermit as well. You know, I don't want to rush and get overwhelmed with feelings too quickly, or get into something too committed too quickly. I want to take my time and feel comfortable with where I am. If you're not the feminine in this situation, then this is how the other person is likely feeling. But protection is also saying that that person is protected, is being watched over. They don't need to worry as much as they think they should. So we'll get a message from the masculine now as well. That was quick. Yes, okay, so kind of mirroring each other in a way. Arpuch, fear. So there is this feeling of, am I ready? You know, I've been out of this maybe a long time. Maybe even just feeling overwhelmed by this particular person. So the masculine could be feeling, you know, this person, this feminine that I'm getting involved with is just very much out of my league, or my feelings are maybe deeper for this person than I'm letting on, and I don't want to show that. You know, I don't want to push them away by thinking, wow, this person's really in love with me, or really interested in me more than I am in them. There's just a need to take this new connection slowly. Two cards just jumping out from this there. Coconut, protection. Okay, that message coming out twice. Protection, purification, maybe healing from the past in that sense, and boundaries. Boundaries very important, especially if that's something you've struggled with in the past. If you just kind of, you know, say yes to things because you don't want to upset the other person, or you don't want to invite maybe uncomfortable questions as to why you don't want a certain thing. Very important to stick boundaries in. Could even be, for example, boundaries around how often you're communicating with someone. So if you're not someone who wants to jump into lots of texting right now and lots of messaging like constantly throughout the day, kind of set that boundary in place straight away. You also got mango jumping out of the deck there. Attraction, intrigue, sensuality. So there is this physical attraction and chemistry, as well as the kind of romantic side, which is great. It's good to have the full package, as it were. And it's interesting, isn't it, how this kind of reading in general is light and dark. We've got lots of pinks and blues and purples up the top, kind of cute colours, and then we've got blacks and whites down here. Blue as well, being a very serene colour. So there's kind of like, there's the fun side, there's the enjoyment, rainbows, happy, joyful side, and I'm so pleased to have this in my life again side, but then there's also the I need to be sensible, I need to take this slowly, I've maybe been hurt in the past side to this. Lovely Wahrheit, number 30, truth. Being open and honest with each other from the start about maybe expectations, or about maybe your past, things that might trigger you, maybe certain boundaries that other people wouldn't need because they haven't had certain experiences, but that you need to put in relationships. Just kind of laying down that kind of groundwork very early on, I think, would be helpful. But also just what I get from the truth card is that this person is going to be very truthful with you. They're going to be very open. You've got the number 1 card from the King Solomon cards there. We'll need to look at the guidebook. Where is it? It's a fairly new deck that I only got about a week or so ago, and they don't have words on the cards to kind of guide the meaning, so I always need to check in the guidebook. Oh, that's lovely. Love. Relationships, emotions, mutual concessions, support and encouragement. Oh, and you got number 19 as well there. Should show you that before I start reading this one. So number 1 says the beginning of a new relationship. Isn't that so lovely? Existent, loving, supportive and intimate connection. You may get an insight about a familiar person who you never imagined that would be interested in you. Support from your spouse when you need help. You're being told to follow your heart at this time. Accept good advice from people who are close to you. Okay, so there does seem to be this new beginning coming in. We've got that a few times with newness, new love, new relationship, etc. Attraction, Ace of Cups. And then this 19, which also looks like 2 people, says sexuality, seduction, intense mutual involvement. Okay, so this is about relationships, intimacy, strong mutual attraction, seduction, bonding, good chemistry between partners, deep physical and emotional involvement. Okay, great. Wow. Yeah, really, really interesting that we're getting so many messages about this. So just for those that are curious, I'm going to pull an archetype card to see what kind of person is coming towards you. Could be one of their main features or their maybe most striking feature or personality trait. From the archetype cards, group 1. Shapeshifter. Light attributes: skill at navigating through different levels of consciousness, ability to see the potential in everything. Shadow attribute: projecting any image that serves your personal agenda in the moment. Shapeshifter. You don't need to take both attributes if you don't resonate with both of them, but one thing that kind of caught my eye when I saw Shapeshifter was like the image, as well as maybe someone who is very good at talking to people from lots of different backgrounds, like people who are very comfortable talking to people from lots of different social backgrounds, maybe can speak multiple languages, or kind of has a feel for dialect in that sense. Like they don't just stick to their own cultural background when they speak to people, when they socialize. They like to talk to lots of different people and they feel comfortable doing that. They kind of switch very easily. They can speak to people who are old, people who are young, people who are very rich, people who are very privileged, and people who are really, really not. So that's the kind of intuitive feeling that I got from that card. And you also got the Slave card from the archetype deck. Light attribute: surrendering your power of choice to the divine with complete trust. Shadow attribute: giving your willpower to an external authority out of fear of making your own choices. So this can be one person, or it could be 2 different people. This kind of reminds me a little bit of the Fool. You know, someone who surrenders and just takes that leap of faith and expects the universe to catch them. Someone who knows that they can't always change things or can't always be in control of their destiny. Someone who kind of trusts that things will always work out in the best way, regardless of what you do. Let's get some messages from your person as well with my little homemade deck. Okay, quite a few jumping out there. So this first one was, I've been thinking about the future. Okay, these are things that your person will want to say to you in June. We have, I keep reading our old messages. When I'm with you, I feel like I can do anything. Really sweet. We've got, I'm going to prove myself to you. Someone who kind of wants to show that they're the right person for you. I want to see you again. You make me so happy. Really, really sweet. Kind of seems to be a lot there about looking back on the connection and wanting to improve things as you keep going on. To the sea, number 7. It is feeling of a journey. Maybe feeling a little bit lost in the sense that you can become very overwhelmed by emotions in this month and you don't want to do that. You want to slow things down. You want to take things gently. Okay, so that's the cards that we're getting for your main reading today. We'll move on to your charms now, and then we'll do your dice as well, and then also you'll get your extra messages from your gnome. But let's see what the charms want to say. Just quick warning, you probably want to turn the volume down now if you don't like this kind of sound from the charms. They are quite loud, especially if you're wearing headphones, because some of you love the sound, think it's really relaxing, some of you think it's really, really grating, so it's different for everyone. So group 1, love life in June. Stopped that from rolling away. Great. So that was the love and relationships ball that popped out, the little rose quartz ball. We've also got the winter charm with the snowflake and the autumn charm. So those could be important times with regards to romance for you. Maybe it's when you met this person, maybe it's when you had your last relationship, or when something significant happened with regards to relationships. We've got the number 4. Could be the 4th house in astrology, could be the 4th of June maybe being important, or the 14th, the 24th. Maybe 4 has a special meaning for you in particular. Someone's going to think that you're really beautiful, which is really lovely with the flower charm. You've got stability from this person as well, the anchor. Fearless, facing fears. You've got the ram, which is Aries energy. Can also signify someone being a little bit stubborn, like a little bit stuck in their ways, or, you know, likes to do things in a certain way. Fire elemental energy showing up. With the dragonfly, it's also a good luck symbol. Always great to get that charm. We have got the fish skeleton. Always makes me think a little bit of the 5 of Pentacles when I get that charm. I think of not feeling good enough, or wishing that things were different, like maybe you had more money or you had more time, maybe like just maybe insecurities there, or feelings of deficiency, feelings of lack that need to be overcome. We've got the lone wolf, ready for a relationship, ready for socializing, wanting to spend more time around people or to have more of a support system from other people. And then we've also got Pegasus, divine intervention, divine rescue, healing as well, associated with Pegasus. So really positive messages here. Kind of feel like you guys will bond over some kind of art, whether that's music, whether it's something you like to watch, like dancing or movies, writing, etc. There's some kind of artistic element for a lot of you, and that's where Pegasus is showing up. Let's get your dice on top, group 1. Okay, so we're going to roll the first set of dice. Those are the fantasy dice, probably my favorite set. These ones. And we're going to roll 6 dice for you. Okay. Yes, we've got this ink bottle and quill pen. So again, there's that message about creativity and art somehow tying you to this person, you having maybe the same talent or the same interests when it comes to art. You've got Apollo coming through here with his lyre. It's the symbol of Apollo, so he is a Greek god of art, okay, art suddenly showing up a lot, but also the god of light, god of the sun, god of healing. He's working with you at this time. Got the bird cage being set free, maybe from past experiences with regards to love, wanting to do things differently. The Hanged Man, yeah, can be about taking your time, but also I feel like it's connected a little bit to that death card, because death follows the Hanged Man. You know, the Hanged Man is this time of stagnation, in a sense, time that you've taken out to think, time that you've taken out to reflect, and then the death brings about this transformation where suddenly we don't want to do that anymore. Suddenly we want to do things differently. The frog, maybe the frog that you kiss that turns into Prince Charming, can also be about adaptability, flexibility. Brings me back to the shapeshifter, actually, because frogs can live on land and on water, and I really got that feeling just intuitively from the shapeshifter card that this is someone who can fit in with a lot of different social groups or can speak several languages and therefore kind of can relate to a lot of different people. And then you've got this kind of hooded figure arriving by boat, and whenever I get this dice I think of like an omen, or I think of knowing something's going to happen before it happens, like some kind of real big sign that comes your way that's like screaming at you, this is the person, or this is something you should say yes to, or this is something you shouldn't do, etc. There's a lot about being not so much intuitively guided necessarily in June, but just kind of getting a big sign that's like, this is what you need. Maybe you're going to ask for a sign. Is this someone that I should go on a date with, or should I accept this person's offer, blah blah blah, and that's going to come through as a big sign. But there's some kind of big omen or sign coming up for you in June with regards to love. So I hope you've enjoyed this group one, and now you can go back to the start of the video and pick your gnome or gnomes if you haven't already done that, or if you have and you remember which one you chose, then just jump to the timestamps, click on the one that you chose, and you'll get your extra cards and also some channeled messages there. And I'm going to move on to pile number 2 now. Hey there, group 2, if you chose the picture of the old lady with the kind of tornado building very close to her and the Deviant Moon Tarot, this is going to be your main reading, and then whichever gnome or gnomes you've chosen will give you a few extra cards and also some channeled messages just to make it more of a layered or personalised reading. So let's see what's coming up in love in June. So we've got the Emperor there as your first card. The Moon. Interesting. 3 of Wands. And the Magician. So you've got 3 major arcana cards there. Very important time for you. I'm seeing Aries and also Pisces coming through. So kind of like the Alpha and the Omega. The first and the last zodiac signs. It's an interesting message. It's almost like I'm getting feelings that you guys have been very worried recently, and this may relate to whatever tornado situation may or may not be going on in your life, or that you can maybe feel building. I feel as though you guys have been kind of dealing with a lot of self-doubt, trying to manage your worries, trying to take control of the situation. The cards are saying that whatever it is that's going on, you do have a lot of agency and a lot of power here. Not only do we have the Emperor, but we also have the Magician. And the Magician is someone who can really turn their lives around, or who is really in control of their life, really has the power to make a lot of change. And also with the 3 of Wands, it's saying there is this positive future that is being kind of brewed, incubated for you at this time. There is this future on the horizon. Whenever we get the 3 of Wands, we see the ships, you know, in the traditional tarot card coming towards the shore. So they're not quite parked at the shore yet, but we can see them, and we just hope that they're not gonna run aground, you know. We just hope that they're gonna arrive safely. So very curious, very interesting and different opening from pile 1. Let's see what the romance angels have to say. Maybe you guys dealing with a lot of drama when it comes to love relationships, or just a lot going on outside of love that's getting in the way of your love life. Forgiving and learning. As you release and heal the past, you experience more love in your present moments. It does feel as though some of you have maybe been let down by someone in love. You know, the Emperor can be someone who's very stubborn, someone who wants their own way. Maybe some of you have been cheated on, or you've just had difficulties getting with a person. You know, maybe they've been saying one thing and not following through with it, or you've just had a lot of worries that maybe your crush doesn't like you back. I feel like there's issues going on here that you're trying to learn to live with, because this woman is just very calm in the face of all this. It's almost like you don't have the capacity to stress about it anymore, because you're completely out of all the stress that you could possibly cope with. We have spiritual connection, number 27. A relationship has a connection that goes beyond this lifetime. So this may feel why it's, you know, maybe why it feels so intense for you guys. If it's a past life connection, if it's maybe something like twin flames, soulmates, there often are very intense feelings associated with that, but also they often come with a lot of baggage as well. You know, there's karma from past existences, there's maybe unresolved or unhealed wounds, unforgiven things from past lives that pop up in our current lifetime where they're kind of not relevant anymore and cause a lot of confusion, or a lot of stress, a lot of paranoia, a lot of worries, especially with that moon coming in. A lot of these things, because they're not consciously something that we're aware of, we're not consciously aware of what's happened between ourselves and another person in a past life, or we're not consciously aware of the reason why this person has come into our lifetime. It kind of simmers away on a subconscious level and causes a feeling of uneasiness or unrest or disquiet. And that was what I was picking up on when I just got the tarot cards out, was this sense of uneasiness and worry. If you've chosen this pile though, I feel like you're already in the midst of this situation, or you can feel it brewing. So if this doesn't resonate with you, please pick another pile, because I don't feel like this is something that happens in June. I think it's something that you're already experiencing. We have It's a No, number 16. Okay, so maybe you're putting down firm boundaries and, you know, putting your foot down, saying no that I can't continue with this, you need to change, or I need to change something. You know, the Magician coming in again there with the boundaries and the ability to make a change. So I'm going to get a message from the masculine and feminine now. And when I do this, it's not necessarily corresponding to biological sex. So if you ask yourself, what's my main kind of energy, or what relationship dynamics do I usually get into? Am I a man but have maybe more feminine energy dominant within me, or am I a woman who has more masculine energy within me, etc.? That will let you know which message is about you and which is about the other person. So we'll get the message from the feminine first. Scatty, atonement. Okay, maybe again connected to forgiveness. Maybe the feminine needing to apologize, or feeling like they want to punish someone for what they've done, and they want to, you know, see that that person feels the way that they've made them feel. You know, there's kind of a bit of revenge going on there, or just a desire for whoever has caused the pain to also feel some level of that pain, or to know just how much you were hurt by that. But it could also be about needing to be forgiven yourself if you're the feminine, or needing to forgive. Let's get a message from the masculine. Oh, we've got two. Helios, cycles. And Odin, guidance. So two Norse gods coming out there, now that we've got Odin popping out as well. Yeah, the cycles message is kind of making me think that it might be connected again to the past life connection, that you guys keep going through similar dynamics in relationships with each other in past lives, or you keep bumping into each other across lifetimes. I also feel as though it's saying in this lifetime the relationship keeps going through ups and downs and it never seems to settle, or if it does settle, it doesn't seem to do that for a very long time. I feel like the masculine is turning to other people for help or guidance or for counsel, like what should I do here? Maybe I've never dealt with a situation this strong or this intense before, or this complicated before. I feel like specifically there's a tendency towards a father figure because we've got Odin, so this could be them literally asking their father, or you literally asking your father if you're the masculine here, what do I do? Or, you know, asking a male masculine deity or a father figure like an older male friend or an uncle or a grandfather figure for their advice or their wisdom. So that's kind of the dynamics that's going on here between the masculine and feminine. It does seem a little bit like a battleground, I have to say, at the moment. Lots of armor going on here. There's even armor on the horse here. Two cards jumping out. Oh wow, so group one got these exact two cards jump out from this deck. So coconut, protection, purification, boundaries. And just so you know, group one's reading is completely different to this one. And yet these two cards seem to somehow fit the same reading. So protection, purification, boundaries. When I got the it's a no card, I was thinking laying down boundaries, saying I can't deal with this anymore, we're gonna have to make a change, or I need time to think, or I need my space, etc. The protection is a nice message saying that you are protected, you are being watched over. Purification as well, a need for healing here, a need to kind of clear the air. But protection also makes me think about guarding your own heart and guarding your own emotions and your own energy field if you find that this connection is just very, very intense, very draining, or just always leaves you feeling unsettled, anxious, etc. A need to put in firmer boundaries around this person and the time that you spend with them. And then you have mango, attraction, intrigue, sensuality, and that is what is fueling this, because it's like, even if you've been through a lot and there's been heartbreak or there's been betrayal or there's been real disappointment from your side with regards to this person, it feels like you can't let them go because there's such a strong attraction there, or vice versa. You know, maybe you know in your heart of hearts, this person is not treating me nicely or is not treating me in the way that I deserve to be treated. But because I'm so attracted to them, or because we have such great chemistry, or because we have such great connection when we talk, I keep being pulled back to them because no other relationships feel so intense. You know, you might feel this person's very nice, they treat me well, we're a good match, but there's not that intensity there, and so you're drawn back to the intensity, the drama. But that also creates, as much as it creates great highs, it also creates great lows, like the anxiety that we're seeing, and that brings us back to the cycles message. Ooh, dropping just half the deck there. So we've got number 14 from the King Solomon cards. Gonna have to check the guidebook because this is a fairly new deck that I got about a week or two ago, but as there's no words on the cards, there's nothing to really guide your interpretation. So this says initiative, action, transformation, upheaval, a change of trend. Wow, things change radically, but this is not done by you alone. It comes from external support. Taking what exists and creating something new altogether. A complicated situation that requires change, even if it's painful and accompanied by a certain loss. So this is really resonating with what I was feeling, is that someone needs to change something here. Someone needs to step in and say, look, we can't keep going on in this way. Something's got to give. We've got to make a change. And that doesn't mean necessarily moving on from the relationship, but it means maybe a commitment to not doing certain things, or a commitment to more regular contact or whatever. The advice section of this card says, make a change, the current situation calls for it. Consult with a trusted person and create a new reality through positive support and cooperation. Interesting that we got this guidance card with Odin, and I said like someone is turning to a father figure or someone that they trust who is older. Clear away something that is not appropriate or beneficial for you at this time. Transformation will not be easy, but it will lead to a better state. Okay. Let's get you some more cards. Oh, knocking the camera. Heiligkeit. Number 48, holiness, being in contact with your higher self, angels. Again, I feel like for a lot of you, this father figure is a deity. It's whether it's, you know, the Lord, and that's why we've got the father image, whether it is Odin himself, whether it is another kind of father figure, patriarchal deity like Zeus, for example. The Dagda, maybe. Feels like you're turning to someone for that fatherly support, that kind of elder wisdom, or the masculine at least is doing that, a connection to something higher. Let's get an archetype card to see if this resonates with you, although I don't feel like this is a new person. We've not got any kind of indication that you're meeting someone new in June. It's more about sorting out an existing connection, but we'll get an archetype card anyway. Rescuer. And it landed upside down, so maybe the shadow attribute is what we need to take. But light attributes of the rescuer archetype provide strength and support to others in crisis, acts out of love with no expectation of reward. Shadow attributes assumes that the rescued person will reciprocate, keeps the rescued person needy. Okay, so maybe there's a bit of white knighting going on, or someone who wants to kind of sweep in and save someone or fix someone who's going through a very tough time, but they expect something in return, like there's an expectation or there's a condition to this love and support. Maybe that resonates with some of you. Building blocks, number 28. Kind of gentle, slow forward movement. I don't think this is something that will radically change overnight, because you need to both commit to it, you need to kind of get used to the new situation or the new reality, but it's something that you can bring about for yourself. Now I will just get you some messages from your person, group 2. Got my homemade messages from your person cards. Okay, let's see what we've got. We have I'm a tease. Okay, maybe someone who flirts a lot with you but doesn't maybe always mean what they say when they say, oh yeah, we'll do this in the future, you know, maybe kind of future faking in a way, or just maybe a very flirtatious person. We have I worry that we're too different. That could be causing conflict between you, maybe conflicting values about very important things, whether it's political, religious, attitudes to raising kids, attitudes toward marriage, that kind of thing. Could just be that one of you is very outgoing or very sporty, for example, very health conscious, the other person really not, or that you maybe have like a, what do I want to say here, like an interest that is conflicting. So maybe one person always wants to watch something that's regularly on the TV and the other person really just isn't into it, really doesn't like it, you know, kind of feels almost like they're losing their life to this person's hobby or interest that they're just not into. We've also got I'm shy, maybe someone not wanting to start the conversation, they want you to start it, or they struggle to talk about deep things. Tell me what I can do to please you. And we also have dinner, question mark. Someone may be wanting to sit down and have a meal with you or take you out to dinner. So those are the cards that we're getting today. Obviously we'll get a couple more when you go and pick your gnome, but I'm going to get your charms and dice on top now. So just a quick disclaimer, if you don't like the sound of the charms, Some of you love it, some of you hate it. I really recommend turning down the volume, especially if you're wearing headphones, if you think you won't like it, because they can be really, really loud. And sometimes I am shuffling for a while until I feel like it's the right moment. So group 2, love life in June. Very complicated situation by the looks of it. I'm also kind of drawn a little bit back to the message that we got about Aries and Pisces at the start of the reading, kind of the Alpha and the Omega, because we got this message about, I worry that we're too different, and Aries and Pisces are kind of radically different. Like, one of them is all about doing, all about impulse, all about suddenness. Pisces, on the other hand, is very, 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 they're so laid back that they're almost horizontal. You know, there's someone who spends a lot of time thinking about something to the point that they might not even end up doing it, whereas the Aries person will give no thought to something and will just jump straight into it. So it could be that kind of like real difference in personality in the way that you live your lives that's causing an issue here. So let's see what we've got charm-wise. We've got the letter J, could be a person's name, could be a word that comes to you, maybe even a place. The shield there on the rescuer card, someone shielding you maybe from harm or vice versa. Also obviously shield, symbolic of battle imagery, when we've got a lot of that coming out in the cards. The shield I always think of just kind of guarding yourself, protecting yourself and your energy. You've got the 2 Christmas trees showing up here, and Christmas trees are about winter time. So maybe winter is when something important happened for you. You've also got the Father Christmas charm as well, so another winter charm. Maybe you're watching this in winter time. Obviously it's a you know, winter time at the moment in the southern hemisphere. Guardian angel there, angels working with you, as we see from the holiness card, working to help you make a change. We've got the scissors card, not the card, scissors charm. Cutting things out, cutting cords, letting go of what you no longer need or what is harmful. There is physical attraction going on here with the flower, people seeing each other as beautiful. You know, there's a strong physical presence that we're feeling here. There's an issue for some of you with money, because we've got the little mouse on a ruble. That's all about saving money. Maybe the incompatibility comes from money and how you manage money, or maybe one of you feels resentful because one of you's from a really privileged background and the other one really isn't. And that causes issues maybe in worldview, or just, you know, feeling like one person's had everything handed to them whereas the other person's had to work so much for it. We've got the unicorn there. And the unicorn always makes me think of kind of innocence, almost childlikeness. And it's landed on that card, I'm a tease. So there is some immaturity about this person, possibly even that they flirt with people without realizing that it's an issue, or they maybe future fake by telling you, yeah, we'll do this, we'll go this place, we'll get this house together, blah, blah, blah. And then they don't see it as an issue when they don't follow up, because to them it's just kind of all in their mind. It's like a game. But that causes the other person to feel really, really upset, because it's like, well, are you just lying to me? Are you just stringing me along, etc.? There's an immaturity there. Transformation with the butterfly, a real need for change coming through. Something's got to give. The diva bunny. This always comes up when someone is either worrying about something that's not going to happen, so kind of building something up in their mind to be bigger than it needs to be, or when someone is just creating a lot of drama for no reason. You know, they just want to be center of attention, or they just want to, you know, rock the boat a bit. It's kind of like drama, unnecessary worry, much ado about nothing kind of charm. So just fit that in, how that resonates with you. And the final charm that we've got is the South Node charm. So South Node comes up when we're dealing with issues from the past. Obviously we see kind of past life issues. When something is very familiar to us, very kind of comfortable, homely, etc. When we have a lot of something as well. When something's kind of almost overdeveloped, maybe you just feel like you've had enough of this person's issues, or you've had enough of their energy right now, you need to take a break. But that's what the South Node is generally referring to, and it's landed on the card about it's a no. So maybe it's, you know, someone wanting to say, look, time out, I need a break from this. Let's see what our dice can tell us today. Okay, rolling the 4th set of dice, the Looney Tunes dice. These often do come up when there is a lot of drama going on. These dice. And we're rolling 3 of them for you. Okay. Okay, so we've got the wrecking ball. So just immediately I feel as though this is just tying in with everything else we've already said, that something in June needs to change about this relationship and its dynamics. Maybe it needs to be more committed. Maybe you need to take a time out from it. Maybe certain behaviors need to go, you know, and there needs to be a commitment to that from both sides. But something drastically needs to change, because you can't keep going on in the way that you are, otherwise one person will just be really, really burnt out. So that's what I'm seeing with the wrecking ball. I just think it's really symbolic of everything else that we've seen so far. We've got the cheese. The cheese dice often comes up when someone's very suspicious about something. When I get it, I just kind of think, you know, you think something's a bit off, something stinks, someone's, maybe what they're telling you isn't adding up or doesn't really sound like the truth or what they would say to you. You know, there's a little bit of suspicion going on there. Maybe you feel like whatever it is that has caused you pain, or whatever this whole drama is about, maybe you haven't got the full truth from it, or you feel like you haven't got the full truth from it, and that's causing you further pain or worry. And then finally, again with kind of battle imagery, we've got Marvin the Martian. And I get Marvin the Martian mainly when someone feels left out, or when someone feels like they're being alienated from a situation, you know, that someone's not letting them in properly, or someone's not trusting them, or someone's hiding something from them. We never see Marvin the Martian's face, so there's always that level of mystery or suspiciousness there, level of hiding something, never seeing who they truly are. So if any of that resonates, obviously there's a few different situations there, but if any of that resonates, take it on board. And that's your main reading for today, group 2. I really hope you've enjoyed it. Now you can go back to the start of the video and pick a gnome if you haven't already done that. If you have and you remember which one or which couple maybe you picked, then just go to the timestamps and jump to the gnome readings. They'll give you some channeled messages and some extra cards as well to make it more of a personalised reading. But I hope this is helpful. It does look like this situation is going to continue into June, but that something does change, something kind of snaps in June and a drastic change is made. So hopefully that's for the better. Group 2, and I'm going to move on now to pile number 3. Hi there, group 3, welcome to your main reading. If you chose the picture of the children with the kind of orbs or eggs rising up on the beach and the Ramses Tarot of Eternity, let's see what's coming towards you in your love life in June. And then the gnome, whichever gnome you chose, will give you some extra cards and some extra kind of like channeled messages as well. So group 3, love life in June. So we've got the Hanged Man there as your first card, then the Two of Wands, Six of Swords, Page of Pentacles, Eight of Swords, Three of Swords. Really interesting. So I'm seeing Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn at the moment. We might get other zodiac signs as we go through the reading, but it's like, it's an interesting mixture of cards. I kind of get the feeling that there is a hiatus coming I'm seeing there being expansion and development, possibly a physical move as well, or like a very conscious shift, like moving from one relationship to another, changing jobs, you know, maybe even traveling for a little while. There's this big sense of like a conscious shift, a conscious change, wanting to expand the self, wanting to kind of make a change. When I get this Eight of Swords, it's very different from the Eight of Swords in a lot of decks. You know, this is kind of like a decisive change to break a stalemate rather than a situation where you feel stuck and trapped and don't know what you're doing. I'm really, really curious to see what the Oracle cards are going to say here, because pile 3 always seems to be my most complicated pile, or the most different from the other two readings. I do feel that there has been pain possibly surrounding making a decision, because we've got that Three of Swords there. I'm wondering if you've maybe asked a partner for some time out, or you are considering making a big change that may affect a partner or a crush or someone that you're dating. You know, maybe you're considering moving, or you want to go traveling for a bit, or you've got a job offer that takes you out of the area, and that may mean having to rethink a relationship or moving away from a crush. Possibly it may mean that there is going to be some temporary separation from a partner physically, because you're not going to be in the same place. Healing family issues. Your love life benefits as you forgive your parents. So some of you in therapy, or just really trying to improve your mental state with regards to the past. It doesn't have to be parents specifically. There could have been, you know, toxic relationships with siblings, abuse from other family members, maybe even childhood bullying, things that you're coming to terms with. That could also be connected to the Three of Swords, the pain, and the Eight of Swords decisively ending it or wanting to change things. Also, the Six of Swords is sometimes not a physical move, but more a positive change of mental state, because obviously the Swords is connected to the mind. But when I look at this particular Six of Swords as well, I think like trying to figure out what you want, trying to work out where you are, where you're going in life, what you're doing. There's something very divinatory about this card. So your next romance angel is wedding. This situation involves marriage. So maybe you're kind of asking yourself, do I want to get more committed to someone that I'm currently seeing? You know, if you are faced with a move or a job change or just a big lifestyle change, or wanting to go and have fun traveling or doing other things, maybe you're asking yourself, okay, is the person that I'm seeing serious enough for me to want to continue this relationship, despite the fact that it's going to be a long distance for a while, or despite the fact that I want to, you know, go off and have some fun? Am I that serious about this person, or am I really not that serious about them? I just care about them a lot and don't want to hurt them. True love. This love is once in a lifetime. Number 30. So there are true feelings involved here. Whether you think this person's right for me to marry or to be my person in the long run or not, there are genuine true feelings there on both sides. And this could be making your decision about your life that's not, you know, to do with the relationship itself, but to do with work or moving or personal development, could be making that harder, because you don't want to make a change that's going to actively hurt or upset or affect someone else in a negative way. Ennoble your soul, number 10. Yeah, absolutely. Wanting to have the moral high ground at all times, wanting to be able to look back at your actions and think, did I make the best possible choice there? Was I acting in integrity there? Was I acting in accordance with my morals there? So a lot of deep thought going on in June. And I feel like just in general, you're entering group 3 a time of expansion for yourself, because I'm seeing, you know, the Hanged Man being broken by the Two of Wands and the Six of Swords and the Page of Pentacles and the, you know, decisive ending to the Eight of Swords that's depicted in that card. This sense of a shift, like, okay, this is now behind me, whatever this chapter of my life was. Now I'm moving into something else and I'm expanding as a person, going out more, developing myself. And that really resonates with the pile marker for this card, because when I see these children rising up, I think they found their purpose in life, or they found their joy, or they found their path, what they're here to do. It's really lovely. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to get a message from the masculine and feminine from a god deck and a goddess deck that I have. And this doesn't mean that if you're a woman and you're asking about a man, that those are necessarily going to be the feminine message for you, the masculine message for the man, because this is about energy as opposed to biological sex. So if you just kind of take a moment and ask yourself, okay, what's my predominant energy? What's the kind of relationship dynamics that I usually get into in a relationship? Do I have the more dominant masculine energy or the more dominant feminine energy, etc.? And obviously this works the same if it's a same-sex relationship that you're asking about or not. You know, you might just find that you're a man who has more predominant feminine energy, and so the message from the feminine will be about you. So let's get that one first. Message from the feminine. Formna, envy. Interesting. When I see this, I kind of think the feminine is looking at other people and kind of thinking, I wish it was that easy for me, or I wish I was in your position. I'm wondering if the feminine is possibly the person having to make the big change here, or make the big life decision, and they're kind of looking at other people who are just happily coupled up, or happily kind of, you know, everything's fallen into their lap when it comes to life, and they just think, well, why was it so easy for you, and why am I having to make these difficult decisions, or, you know, weigh up what I think is the best option for me. Let's get a message from the masculine. Oh, we've got two. Okay. So we have Lu, skill, and Achilles, confidence. Interesting. I feel like the feminine here has empowered the masculine a lot. They may have been a person when you met, if you are the feminine, that they didn't have a lot of confidence, or if you're the masculine, you didn't have a lot of confidence when you met this other person. The masculine has been built up by this other person. They feel empowered a lot. But they're afraid of doing things kind of on their own now, because the feminine has given them so much love and so much support, and has really helped them maybe to overcome stuff from the past, or just to feel more confident in themselves, grow their self-esteem, that they're worried how they would be able to continue that and keep that up without the feminine around. I also feel like the masculine is trying to think of lots and lots of ways that they could make this work, that they could still be around. When I think of Lu, the many skilled, it's like lots of different options, lots of different scenarios. But everything kind of rests on this big decision, or what ultimately is going to happen with regards to this new opportunity that seems to be coming in. Butter pecan, ice cream, reason, market, sell. Yes, so there could be like, you know, marketing the house, selling the house, moving up, moving away, reasoning with yourself, trying to come up with the right solution. Could be to do with jobs, you know, if you're going into something that is all about selling, sales. Finances seem to be on the mind a lot, whether it's about taking a job that's better money, or asking yourself if you can travel and calculating the cost of that. Maybe you want to go traveling with this person, but they can't afford it, or the other way around. Just felt like I wanted another one of these cards. So white chocolate raspberry, sensibility, decorum, elegance. Yeah, with this I just kind of think treading lightly with whatever's going on here. I feel like whoever's making the decision or has this opportunity coming up that they're considering, they really don't want to hurt the other person, so they may not mention it until they've come to a decision, because they don't want to leave the other person feeling like they're hanging in limbo, waiting for a decision to be made. They really want the other person to be okay, whatever they decide. And you have number 28 here. It's got like a star cut out of the ground. I'm going to have to check the guidebook for that one. It's a relatively new deck, and with there being no words on the cards, I always have to look in the guidebook. Interesting. So 28 is about delays, restraints, binding, and locking. Delay in the realization of plans and desires, blockages in the way to reach a goal, total attachment to something or someone that inhibits your progress. So that could be what this is talking about, that you really, really don't want to let go of a person that you would maybe have to if you moved away, or, you know, you don't want to spin someone along if you can't be there for them full time. Someone binds you powerfully to themselves and refuses to let go. Everything is locked in front of you and you feel like you can't progress in any area. So let's look at the advice section of this card. Your struggle is lost in advance. Wait 3 moons until the situation changes or until the environment is cleared from negative influences. Do not step forward until a hostile factor is out of the way. Turn to external help to break free from the current situation. So maybe talking through your options or feelings with someone impartial who's not going to kind of try and sway you in any particular direction. There's also that message about needing to wait, so maybe not rushing this decision if that's possible. I know sometimes when you get job offers, you have to make your mind up quite quickly. But if it's possible for you to put off whatever's going on, then really make sure you've thought long and hard about it. Yeah, andere Leben, wow, number 20, other lives. This real kind of preoccupation with what someone else is thinking and feeling, that you don't want to hurt someone else through your actions, that you don't want someone else to think badly of you because of something you've decided. Really coming through very strongly, group 3. But I do want to say that I really feel a time of great change is coming for you in a very positive way, that there's going to be lots of opportunities in the near future and kind of over the next year or so to really develop yourself, really grow as a person. You know, a lot of us have been locked in this hangman situation for a very long time now for obvious reasons, but for you it feels almost like it's not just the fact that as a world we might be opening up again soon. It's more like it's deeper than that. There's a lot of opportunity coming for you to expand, for you to grow, for you to learn, for you to travel potentially, for you to meet new people, for you to just become the best possible version of yourself, continue along your journey. So I really feel excited for you, as much as you might be just really struggling with this blockage that you've hit in June. Okay, so then we've got your archetype card. Oh, you've got 2 actually. Okay, so these are the people or person. Could be one person with both of these attributes who you're dealing with in love in June. The first one is lover, okay? Light attributes, great passion and devotion, unbridled appreciation of someone or something. Shadow attributes, obsessive passion that harms others, self-destructive devotion. You don't have to take both attributes if you don't want to, if they don't both resonate with you. Just take what resonates, leave what doesn't. The other archetype here is fool. Light attributes, fearlessly revealing emotion, helping people laugh at absurdity and hypocrisy. Shadow attributes, using humor to wound rather than liberate, denial of your emotional truth. So I kind of feel from these cards together that you may be dealing with someone who, when they love 100%, like they give completely, and this may be why you are finding it even more difficult to think about the possibility of moving away from them, or maybe putting the relationship on hold, because you know how crushed this person would be. Like genuinely they kind of love like a child, where they just give everything they have, that lovely fool energy where they jump in completely blind, go into it completely. That's what I feel. It almost feels like to harm them would be like kicking a child, like taking sweets away from them, you know? It's that kind of innocent, full, true love. Maybe it's the first time this person's ever been in love and they've told you that, and you don't want to take that away from them, or to have that be their first experience of the ending of a relationship or of love. Let's get messages from your person. Okay, let's see what we've got. This is my homemade messages from your person deck. So the first card says, let's run away together. Okay, maybe connected to traveling or even moving that we've seen already. I want to kiss you. I want to meet your family. Maybe that's the decision that you're agonizing over, that you don't maybe see this as that serious, even though you care about this person a lot. You might not want to introduce them to your family just yet, and that's kind of where they're at right now. They want to take it to that level, and maybe you're not ready for that yet, but you're not sure how to say it. You make me so happy. This person definitely like head over heels. Absolutely. I want to wake up next to you. Maybe this could be to do with moving in with each other for some of you, and again, that's kind of not where you're at, but it's where they are. I don't want to lose you. So there's your answer. If you're wondering, you know, if you were to break this off, would this person be okay? I feel as though there would be a lot of pain for them. They really seem to have fallen for you, group 3. They really seem to be head over heels. They want everything. They want to be close to you. They want to commit. They want to, you know, be there all the time. They want to merge families, etc. They're so happy with you. Maybe they're wondering, for example, if they know that you're considering moving away or taking a different job. Maybe they're thinking, well, could I leave my job and find something else in this place? Or could I change industries to be closer to that person? Like, I really feel they've gone through that kind of thought process in their head. Like someone who's just willing to move heaven and earth to make this work. And yeah, the final card that we've got today is flexible, number 19. So someone really willing to change their plans in order to fit in with yours. So this could be quite difficult, group 3, if you're swaying more towards I want to move on from this person or I want to let them down gently. This could be a difficult situation to find yourself in, because you might find this person saying, well, I'll come with you, or I'll do this, I'll do that, and you might find it very difficult to say, actually, I don't want you to. You know, it's not just that I'm moving away, it's that I also don't feel I can take this with me, you know? So that might be a difficult conversation. It's a very specific reading, as group 3 often is for me. Let's get your charms, group 2, group 3. Just a quick warning, if you don't like the sound of the charms, I would recommend turning down the volume because they can be very loud. Some of you really like the sound, some of you really don't. And I always try and remember to say it. I'm so invested in this reading. Normally I have like such a detached energy because otherwise it would be very hard to do a reading, but I really want to know what's going on here, and I want to know what's going to happen, because it feels like such a, you know, almost like a TV show or movie setup where you don't know who to root for, you don't know what you want to happen. Let's get the charms on top. Okay, so we've got a guardian angel coming out there. So angels are working with you in this situation. We've also got the W, which could be connected to someone's name, could be a place or a word. But when I get this black W, because I have the alphabet all in blue and all in pink, and then I have this one black W, which was like an extra gift, I think of making a wish. So if you want to pause the video and just make a wish looking at this charm, please do that. I'm seeing taking things slowly with the snail. Maybe it's connected to wanting to slow down the progression of the relationship. We've got the Hanged Man again, really kind of weighing up your options, time out, breathing, trying to think about what you want, needing a change in direction, the Compass, wanting to do things differently. It's also a kind of Wheel of Fortune charm, so that does suggest things are going to work out positively. This is a healthy relationship though. Like, I don't feel this person is kind of obsessed in, you know, an unhealthy way. I feel like they just genuinely have fallen for you and there's nothing they can do about that. Live, love, laugh, enjoy every day. take every day as it comes, enjoy the simple things. You've got the Irish charm there, could be a connection to Ireland for one or both of you. Maybe that's where you want to move, or the company that you're going to join is connected to Ireland in some way. Maybe this person has an Irish name or surname, family history, etc. But it's also a good luck charm, which is again very positive. We have the baby tapir, so this feeling that this person is like a child in some way, maybe not in the sense of being immature, but the sense that they maybe haven't got a lot of experience in relationships, or they give so much love like a child does, and that's really stopping you from making a decision because you don't want to hurt them. There could equally be children involved in this situation. Maybe one or both of you has children, and that's also a consideration. And you've got music there, creativity, inspiration, music kind of getting you through this. Maybe this person also has a creative job, or you want to pursue creativity. Let's get your dice on top. Okay, we're rolling the second set of dice, group 3, that's the original dice. Let's get them. These ones. And we're rolling 4 of them. Okay, 4 dice today. Let's see what we're going to get. Okay, group 3. Yes, oh my goodness. Okay, so we've got the eye, seeing things clearly, insight, maybe third eye, kind of perception of truth, etc. Really doing a lot of thinking, because we've also got the questioning dice there, kind of asking yourself, what do I want? Yes or no? Do I want this? Do I not want it? What am I doing here? What's my purpose in life, you know? Following your dream. The house as well. So another connection to moving in with someone, or moving house, or meeting the family potentially, because I associate house not just with the house itself, but also with the household, like the people who live there. So maybe there's a, you know, connection to someone wanting to meet your family and you're not ready, or maybe they want to introduce you to their kids and you don't feel like you're ready to do that. You feel like that's too soon, would be too serious for the relationship. And so yes, this feeling of I want to be free, I want to bail, or, you know, is this what I want? Are we moving too fast? I want to travel a little bit, or I want to do something differently, or I don't like where I live and I want to change the area. Don't like my job, it's unfulfilling, it's boring, it's stressful. I want to do something different. And that's what I'm seeing, is this just real desire to make this big decision, but to not want the emotional consequences that might come for another person. So that's the message I'm getting today, group 3. Very, very complicated. You can now go back to the start of the video and pick your gnome if you haven't already done that, or you can just jump to the timestamps and choose whichever one it was if you remember which one you chose. I really hope this is helpful. The gnomes are going to give you some extra cards and channel messages. And I'm going to start off now with Gnome A, Gismund. Hey there guys, if you chose Gismund or Gnome A as your gnome, and this is going to be your extra messages, so let's see what Gismund wants to tell you. I'm just going to get you a couple of extra cards, and before that I'm also going to get some channeled messages, so I'm kind of going to shuffle the deck because I find that helps me focus in on receiving information. And I'm going to open up to channeled messages now. Oh, straight away I'm seeing like a big it's like a big glacier or something, and it's blocking a path. So some of you have really come across a big like wall or obstacle in your communications with someone recently, or in the search for love recently. It's like a big obstacle that you're kind of hacking away at. Like I'm seeing you with a tiny little pickaxe trying to push this glacier out of the way by making it smaller. This is something you've been wrestling with for quite a long time. I'm seeing names beginning with J coming through. I'm especially getting Joanna and Jasper coming through, John as well. And now I'm seeing something like vines hanging down, and it's like, you know, kind of like when a helicopter is doing search and rescue and they send down a ladder. It's like that. It's like there is a a way out that is not yet available but will soon become available. So whatever it is that you're doing currently to try and shift this blockage, it seems it's not working, or to overcome a certain obstacle. A new way around this is needed, and that's going to become apparent soon. Kind of like a divine intervention thing. I'm also seeing sand, which is making me think of the sands of time, so very much connected to divine timing. The number 8 as well coming through, infinity. Number 3 as well could be important for you guys. And green, I'm seeing like specifically the green that's associated with the first spring. So it's kind of like the winter melting away into the spring, welcoming in this new beginning, new life. Possibly that time of year is important to this connection or to your love life in general as well. Yeah, that's just what I'm hearing, is that there's going to be a new way out soon, or you're soon going to realize how to do things differently. So let's get some cards for you from the Gnome Tarot, and then we've also got one tiny little oracle deck that I always like to use when I get Gnome messages. Okay, so we've got the Rytsar Bulov, the Knight of Wands there, and it says career. Deviant Chash, 9 of Cups, and it says pijanstva, drunkenness. Semyorka Manet, the 7 of Pentacles, and Sakrovisha, treasure. And finally Karol Mieczej, King of Swords, and that says Soznania, which is like awareness or consciousness. Okay, so we're getting both fire signs and air signs coming through because of the 2 court cards that we've got here. So Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. It is kind of following a little bit what I was saying with the channeled messages, is that we've got the sudden change or the sudden opportunity that is presented in the form of the Knight of Wands. It doesn't have to be a particular person that embodies the Knight of Wands. It is sometimes a situation. But as a person, this is someone who kind of comes out of the blue, does things very impulsively rather than in a careful, considered way. And then the 9 of Cups seems to suggest kind of getting some sense of fulfillment after waiting a long time. King of Swords also does suggest someone who is kind of emotionally distant. Maybe is good at talking, but then doesn't follow through on their actions, or, you know, especially if they're a Gemini, that could be an issue. People who'll talk a lot about moving in with you and then just don't end up just not doing it. But I'm kind of feeling that for a lot of you, it's almost like the glacier is symbolic of trying to reach someone and they're just not able to connect with you on that same level. It's like you're kind of shouting into the glacier and it's just echoing back to you, like the person behind it is just not hearing, or they're not on the same level ready to hear yet. Not able to connect in the same way. There's been a lot of waiting, either to shift this kind of blockage, or, you know, maybe waiting for a certain person to show commitment. We've got adventure, live wild and free. I feel like I want another oracle card as well. Forbearance. Do not be deterred by the thorn amidst the roses. That feels like what you've been doing so far is just this waiting it out kind of endurance test, waiting to see when things are going to get better, just trying to minimize maybe the negative aspects of what you're going through, or the hard aspects, and just thinking about the future, thinking, oh, it's going to get better, I just need to stick at it for a bit longer, or I just need to be around for a bit longer and then things will get better, and they might message, or they might be more amenable to doing something after a certain amount of time. That's what I'm seeing. And so there's a little bit of needing to pull back and be like, right, this obstacle, this glacier that I'm seeing is not going to move itself, and it's not going to move with the tiny little pickaxe that I'm hitting it with. Like the little actions that I'm doing are not going to move. There's something to do with timing here, like the sun coming along in springtime and melting it. figuratively, and so it feels like you need to step away a little bit and start enjoying your life and not burning all your energy trying to get rid of this blockage that's in the way. That's what I'm feeling, Gismund's group. It is a bit kind of some kind of analogy. It's a bit like Aesopian language, but I think for those of you that this is meant for, you're really gonna understand what I'm talking about, and you're really going to be able to apply it to your situation. So I hope you've enjoyed this, you guys, both readings that you've had today. Please do let me know in the comments whether you did and how it resonated with you. Please like, share and subscribe. Really increases my chances of getting seen by new people on YouTube, and it grows our family here as well. And check out the description box, there's lots of links in there if you're interested in anything that I do here on the channel or just want to get to know me a bit better. You can follow me on Instagram if you want daily cards. I have a Bilibili account as well for people in China, so if you want to go and support that, go ahead. I'm not currently accepting private readings on Etsy when I post this, but I will be very soon, so keep checking that if you're interested. I have a Patreon page for those of you that are interested in giveaways and just kind of regular things that I do on Patreon, kind of rewards, and again showing your support regularly, getting to know me better. And I have a PayPal link for tips and donations as well, and I've also got 2 Tarot and Oracle wish lists, one on Amazon and one that is an independent wish list for decks that for whatever reason you just can't buy on Amazon. So if that interests you, if you want to get a new deck for the channel, definitely check it out. And just thank you all for being here. Thank you for watching. Hope you guys have an amazing month ahead, both in love and in all other areas of your life, and I'll see you again soon. Bye bye, take care. Hey there everyone, if you chose Gunvald or Gnome B, then these are going to be your extra messages. Basically what I do at this part of the reading is I open up to some channeled messages about your situation. Obviously I don't know which reading you chose. I just completely go in this with an open mind. I'm not even asking questions. And then once I've got some channeled messages, which I do while I shuffle the deck because it just helps me to focus on receiving information, then I pull a few cards from the Gnome Tarot deck and also the Whispering Woods Oracle, which is here. So I'm just opening for some channeled messages now, seeing what comes in. Straight away I'm getting T names. I'm getting like Tabitha, I'm getting Trevor, I'm getting any name beginning with T. I'm getting Tanisha, Tallulah, all of these T names. I'm getting the number 4. So it makes me think of the Emperor straight away, but also when I think of 4, I think of stability, but possibly also like blockage in a sense. So 4 is stable, it's safe, but it's maybe not very exciting. So maybe that refers back to a relationship that you're in or someone that you're interested in. Maybe you're considering someone or you're with someone who's kind of like a safe option and, you know, you care about them, but maybe they're not that exciting person that really makes you think, wow, this is the person I want to be with forever. But you're scared to trade in stability for something more unpredictable, I guess. I'm seeing a plane and I'm seeing a beach, so I feel some of you are making plans to travel soon. Possibly there's a physical distance between you and someone you're interested in, and that's what's being talked about, that you want to travel to see them, or vice versa. Getting the letter O as well, but I think it's specifically about a place rather than a person. It's just coming through. Yeah, I'm hearing that you guys have spent a lot of time kind of agonizing over something, that you spend a lot of time thinking. You kind of think, should a relationship be this difficult, or should dating someone in the early days have so much questioning about it? It's almost like you're kind of thinking, you know, on paper this person seems right for me, or they seem great, but I'm having my doubts. Or, you know, this person is completely perfect for me except this one area where they're not, and it keeps niggling at me and it keeps eating away at me. It really feels like you guys have been doing an awful lot of evaluating. Like I just literally am seeing someone sitting on the bed and then sitting at like a table, head in hands, just thinking, what do I do? You know, really thinking a lot about things that have been said, big life decisions, like what to do next. I'm seeing walking through like a forest area or a wooded area holding hands. So it feels like you want that lovely romantic connection. Maybe you're thinking, I really care about this person and I don't want to tarnish all the lovely times that we've had, but I'm not quite sure that they give me that spark. It's soft, it's warm, it's gentle, it's safe, but is it exciting? Some of you also looking to have children in the next few years, and that's kind of affecting your decision as well, thinking, do I go for someone who's safe and will probably be a good parent, or do I go for someone that I'm genuinely, really, truly in love with? Do I take the risk? Let's get you guys some cards. So we have Ryțar Mечей, the Knight of Swords, Diplomatia, diplomacy. Maybe you're wondering how to word something. You know, you don't want to upset someone by suggesting they might not be the perfect fit for you. Desyatka Chash, the Ten of Cups, and it says Otpusk, like holiday. That's crazy. Tuz Mечей, the Ace of Swords, and that says Sila, strength. And finally, Desyatka Bulav, the Ten of Wands, so 2 tens here and an ace. Sora, argument. So this really does seem connected, doesn't it, to what messages I just got from the channeled reading. A lot here about, you know, the tens kind of indicates endings, completion, feeling like you've had enough of one thing and ready to move on to the next thing. And then we've got the Ace of Swords and also the Knight of Swords, who kind of brings a freshness to him, also brings the energy of communication, like having important conversations along with him. We've got talks about arguing, diplomacy, wanting to word something in the right way, not wanting to hurt anyone. We've got messages here about, you know, strength to overcome a situation, about traveling, holidays, etc. So really interesting. It does feel like this is really on your mind at the moment. And I see as well that you're almost kind of trying to weigh it up logically, because Knight of Swords is not someone who lets emotions get the best of him, and so you're kind of trying to approach a matter of the heart from a head perspective, if that makes sense, and that might not be the best way to go about it. Oh, group 1 got both of these cards as well. Not group 1, Gismund's group, Gnome A. We've got Adventure, Live Wild and Free, which seems connected to the holiday or traveling message, and also the question of, do I want to be with this person, or do I want to, you know, move on and find someone different, someone who's more exciting, because we've got that message about adventure. And then also Forbearance, do not be deterred by the thorn amidst the roses. And this is like your two sides of the story, or kind of pros and cons. It's like you're saying, I want to be free, I want to find someone exciting, but then at the same level you're kind of saying to yourself, well, I shouldn't write this person off just because of this one thing, or this person gives me so much love and affection and attention, they love me, they're interested, they're not going to leave me, you know, they're going to provide me with this stable foundation. Should I gamble that away in the hope that I'll meet someone who gives me more of a spark? Like, this seems to be where you're at right now. I don't want to presume to tell you what to do in either direction, because that's not the basis of this reading. I do have other readings that might help you with that, but it's also not showing up in the reading what the best option is. It's just saying, this is where you're at right now. This will continue into June. You're trying to make this decision. You're ready for a fresh start. You want to have this conversation. So I really hope you've enjoyed this, you guys. Please do let me know in the comments how it resonated. Please like, share and subscribe as well. That really boosts my chances of getting seen by new people on YouTube and helps us grow our lovely family that we're growing here at the moment. Check out the description box for links as well if you're interested in what I do on the channel. You can go ahead and follow me on Instagram if you're interested in daily oracle cards, or Billy if you want to show your support for me over there. I'm not currently accepting private readings on Etsy. I'm in the middle of a very, very busy time at the moment, but I will be offering them again soon, so do keep checking back if you're interested in that. If you're interested in giveaways and things, check out my Patreon page and consider becoming a patron. I do all kinds of like rewards and things over there. And if you would like to donate to the channel, thank you guys so much. I've got a PayPal link for tips and donations, and I've also got a Amazon wish list for new tarot and oracle decks, and then also an indie deck wish list, which just is for decks that I found that you can't buy on Amazon for whatever reason. So if that interests you, if you'd like to get me a new deck, thank you so much, you guys. Thank you for checking it out. That would be really lovely of you. And I just hope you have a wonderful month ahead, not just in love, but in all areas of your life. Have a great June. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye. Hey there everyone, welcome to your reading, the second reading if you chose Geir or Gnome C. As your gnome, this is going to give you a few extra messages. What I'll do first is I will just kind of shuffle this gnome tarot deck that I have, and that helps me to just focus in on receiving information via channeled messages. I just find it easier to do it like that rather than just, having my hands static. And then I'll get a few cards when I've got some channel messages for you, and then I'll get some oracle cards as well from this deck, the Whispering Woods oracle deck, and that will finish off the reading. So just opening up to channeled messages now for you guys, Geir's group. I'm seeing a rose straight away. Could be your name, could be just some other message. Roses just in general signify love, true love to me. It's more of like a pink rose. I'm hearing the name Katie or Catherine or Kathy. I'm seeing a lot of garden imagery, like all of a sudden, like someone sitting in a sunny garden with a drink, a book. I feel like whoever it is that's chosen this, you've been doing a lot of talking with someone via message, or that's how it's going to go down in June. It's kind of not face-to-face. It's you're either meeting someone online or you've met someone in person, but your communication with them is predominantly via online messaging apps or texting even. Yeah, it's like this person that I'm seeing is kind of like in the garden, they're like enjoying the day, they've got a book, they've got their drink, they've got their sunglasses, but at the same time their phone is on the side and they're like waiting for the next message. It's like they're waiting for that ping. So there's some excitement, there's some kind of heart fluttering, early level flirtation going on in June, which is really sweet. I'm just feeling like that giddy feeling, like when you just want to grin because you're really happy, you just kind of want to kick your legs a little bit. It's that kind of feeling. Yeah, I'm feeling that June is kind of like a turning point for a lot of you, because I feel that from your perspective, you've had quite a tough time over the past few months, or things just haven't been working out, or things are being quite hard. You've had to put in a lot of energy and effort, and it feels like June just brings a lot of relaxing and positive energy into your life, where you finally feel like, okay, I'm not worried at the moment. I haven't got things to worry about, or I haven't got things that are getting me down all the time. Instead, I'm feeling like I've got things to be happy about, or I've got happy news to share for a change, or I just, I look forward to getting up each day wondering what it's going to bring. It's that kind of change, which is really lovely. Yeah, I'm seeing a sun lounger, like there's a lot of sitting in the sun imagery. Some of you might be able to go on holiday or just might live somewhere that's naturally gets quite sunny in June. I feel like a lot of you are going to get a lot of pleasure and a lot of comfort from taking walks in nature, specifically like wooded areas. It's going to calm your mind a lot. It's going to make you feel at one with nature. A lot of you very much connected to fairies and to earth elementals like gnomes. There's something Nordic going on here as well, so some of you really interested in Norse mythology, Norse pantheon, maybe just Norse folk tales. And I'm seeing ice cream as well, so there's a lot of like summer kind of holiday imagery. Let's get some cards. Okay, so we've got everything that wants to come. So Королева чаш is your first card there, Queen of Cups, and it says беременность, which means pregnancy, but doesn't always mean it in the physical sense. It can mean it in a figurative sense as well. Page чаш, Page of Cups, влюбленность. That is a brilliant Russian word which means the state of being in love. Karol Bulov, the King of Wands, власть, power. And then the Queen of Wands as well, Королева Bulov, вдохновение, inspiration. So all of these are court cards, and we've got a matching pair. You know, we've got the King and the Queen of Wands, and then we've also got the Queen and the Page of Cups, so kind of not quite on the same level as each other, but still belonging to the same suit. So this is very similar to kind of what I was getting with the channeled messages, is just this feeling of newness, of freshness, of fulfillment and happiness that comes in June. Obviously, the Page of Cups is offering the cup of love there, and it's called being in love, this card. And then you've got also the Queen of Cups, who is very fulfilled and happy. There could be possible pregnancy or planning to start trying to conceive starting around June time for some of you. So just be aware of that. If that's not something that you want, be extra careful in June. But just in general, I think of fulfillment when I see that card, and, you know, just having everything you need, and kind of my cup runneth over in a sense, having more than you need. And also refilling that cup if you feel in the past few months, like I've said, that your well has run dry, that you've just given so much, or you've tired yourself out, you've thought too much, you've worried too much, etc. June is your time to recuperate and to fill your energy stores back up. And then the King and Queen of Wands bring a lot of excitement and passion their way, and also this sense of having control of your life again. You may have felt for quite a while that things were taken out of your hands, or that things just weren't following the plans or the hopes or the wishes that you would have had for yourself, and suddenly June is this turning point where suddenly things kind of get back on track again, or where you feel like your actions are having clear correlation with the results that you're getting, rather than you just putting in effort that is not being rewarded or reciprocated or recognized in any way. So we'll get you an oracle card as well. Oh, a couple of cards. So the Knight is the first one. Find comfort in the night where the world switches off and the stars burn bright. And I think, again, that is just a message of resting in June, recuperating, bringing your energy levels back up. The switches off thing was very drawing my attention. But also I feel like you are going to be talking into the night with someone online or on a messaging app or texting. Clearing, make room for growth. Getting ready for this new energy, letting go of the past, making your peace with things. Woods, and I did feel that some of you are going to be walking around a wooded area to calm down. Be like the woods, calm, soothing, mysterious, and full of life. And finally, caution, tread softly so as not to disturb the woodland floor. And kind of I feel like that's just saying don't throw yourself into things too quickly. Like, just enjoy what this is. Don't worry too much about where it's going, because that kind of really goes against the theme of June for you, which is not worrying, which is recuperation and breathing again. Just, you know, try and get your energy back and just enjoy what is coming your way. Be grateful for it. You've earned it by the looks of it. You deserve some love and some rest and some positive, happy, joyful attention. So it's really good news for you guys. Gaia's group, I hope you've enjoyed both the readings that you've had today. Please let me know in the comments how they've resonated with you. Please like, share and subscribe as well if you did enjoy it, because that really increases my chances of getting seen by new people on YouTube, so that we can continue to grow our family here. And if you're interested in what I do here on the channel, check out my description box. I've got lots of links in there. You can follow me on Instagram if you're interested in getting daily oracle cards on your feed, and you can follow me on Bilibili if you want to show me some support over there. I'm not currently accepting private readings on Etsy when I post this video, but I will be again soon. I'm just currently in the middle of a very, very busy time, very, very stressful time outside of tarot. So I'm just not able to take that on at the moment, but I will be soon. So keep checking back on Etsy if that interests you. And if you would like to get involved with giveaways and other rewards that I offer, check out my Patreon page. Consider becoming a patron. And if you'd like to donate to the channel, as always, I've got my PayPal link for tips and donations, and I have my 2 wish lists at the moment. I've got one for Tarot and Oracle decks on Amazon, and then I've also got an indie deck wish list for decks that you just can't buy on Amazon for whatever reason. So I'd really appreciate it if you guys would check that out if you're interested in sending a new deck to the channel. And just thank you for watching. Again, I hope you guys have a great month ahead in love and in all other areas of your life. Take care of yourselves, and I will see you again soon. Bye bye. Hey there everyone, if you chose Gjord or Gnome D as your gnome, my final pile here today, this is going to be your extra messages. So basically what I do at this part of the reading is I start shuffling this Gnome Tarot deck, and while I'm doing that I open up to channeled messages and I'll kind of call them out as I get them. I just find it easier to shuffle the deck rather than just sit with my hands not doing anything while I'm trying to open channel messages. It just kind of focuses my mind in a weird way. And then when I've got the messages and I feel like we've got everything that wants to come, I pull some cards from this deck and then also from the Whispering Woods Oracle deck, and that just finishes up the reading. So I'm just opening up now to any channeled messages for Gjord's group. What does Gjord want to tell you guys about your love life in June? Colour pink is coming through quite strongly. And I'm getting the names Chloe and Elizabeth coming through. And Timothy or Tim. I'm seeing ocean, waves. Could be a place that you're hoping to go or a place that you live, but it could also, to me, the waves are kind of like cyclical things, like things that happen regularly or that go through cycles. You could feel like you're just going through the motions with someone, because that would kind of be the wave message for me as well. Watching clouds. I'm kind of getting the feeling that you guys are waiting for something to change or waiting for something to happen so that you don't need to do anything. Like, I'm hearing that you don't want to take any positive action down any particular route. You're just waiting to see how things unfold. So that could mean that you're just enjoying the relationship that you have, or you're just enjoying your daily life, waiting for love to appear without actively going and looking for it. But I'm also feeling that for some of you it's more like you're in a situation that you're not really sure how you want it to turn out, or you don't want to be responsible for making the decision, so you're just hoping that in time life will sort it out for you and you won't have to be the person that's technically responsible for making a certain decision. I'm seeing a jaguar, very specific animal, could be a spirit animal. If you want to maybe look up jaguar as a dream meaning or a spirit animal and post it below, that could really help someone else who's chosen this pile. Yeah, what I'm kind of getting this message that you don't need to worry, Gjord's group, about whatever it is that you're kind of hoping will sort itself out, but there is this feeling that you do need to make a decision sooner or later, and it will probably be better sooner so that you're not dragging out these feelings. Kind of clean break is the message that I'm getting. Whether it's that you need to say something to someone, or that you need to make a clear-cut decision about a relationship or about your own life, there's just a need to kind of get it over and done with, is what I'm feeling. I'm also seeing a skateboard, like someone skateboarding down a road. Could be related to you or your person. Yeah, and a frog that's like just taken a jump, so like taking a big leap, getting ready to make that change or take the next step, Gjord's group. it's very kind of like urban feeling that I'm getting from this. Like I'm getting a kind of seaside city vibe from this. I'm seeing people like on the skateboard, I'm seeing the ocean and the beach, I'm seeing people walking with sunglasses on, I'm seeing someone drinking like a smoothie, specifically blueberry smoothie, in a shop. Like it's really specific imagery that I'm getting. So this could be somewhere that you know, like if you live in a seaside city, or your person does, or that you're hoping to go on holiday maybe to a seaside city. This is just what I'm seeing really strongly. I'm seeing like pink again, like pink painted nails. Maybe that's something you do as your happy thing. Whatever it is, Gjord's group, I feel like in June, pastel colours are the way to go. Dressing in pastels, like whether it's pink or not, pastels will make you feel happy in June. Let's get some cards. So our first card here is Восьмерка монет, the Eight of Pentacles, and it says бедность, poverty. And we've got Рыцарь мечей, the Knight of Swords, дипломатия, diplomacy. Пятерка мечей, the Five of Swords, lots of swords energy, свобода, freedom. And Девятка булав, the Nine of Wands, and it says наказание, punishment. Okay, so there is a feeling of like feeling a little bit left out, or that you don't quite have enough right now. There's a little bit of an energy of lack going on here, but I'm also seeing that like you want to prevent negative things happening by getting in there early, but equally you don't want to say something, or you don't want to make that decision. So there is a conversation that needs to be made, because we've got the Knight of Swords and it says diplomacy, so it's like you're trying to think of how to word something to someone, or you know, you want to come across in the best possible way. You don't want to hurt anyone. You know, we've got this image of the bandage there, and in the guidebook for this, it says something like there's no problem that can't be fixed. So this is something you can definitely get round and end up happy with, whatever it is that you're putting off saying or doing. But there is just a need to kind of make a clean break and go for it. Freedom is a nice word there, because I feel if you make this decision, or you say this thing that needs to be said, although it will be hard in the moment and maybe for a little bit afterwards, there will then be this kind of sigh of relief. I feel like you guys are very invested in whatever this is that's going on. And there's just such a feeling of, I don't want to be the bad person, or I don't want to, you know, upset that person or burst their bubble or be the person that takes the blame, but something has to happen. Okay, so two little cards here. The first one is cleanse. Wash your weary spirit clean and take a walk in the wooded glades. Okay, so that does make sense, this kind of need for a clean break. And caution, tread softly so as not to disturb the woodland floor. So this makes complete sense. You guys know that something needs to change, or needs to be moved on from, needs to be done or said, and yet you're scared to do it, or you're very, very cautiously thinking, how should I word this? Because that diplomacy message is coming up, or how do I handle this in the most sensitive way possible? Maybe someone's not going to be happy with your exciting news, or maybe someone's not going to want to hear what needs to be said, or there's going to be collateral damage of someone else's feelings when it comes to a big decision you're making about your life. But that's what I'm seeing as far as June goes. So enjoy whatever the sunny city thing is by the seaside. That looked really nice and really just relaxing and enjoyable. Have a lovely month ahead, you guys. Please let me know in the comments how it resonated with you today, and like, share, subscribe if you enjoyed this video. It really increases my chances of getting seen by more people on YouTube, new people especially. And check out the description box if you're interested in what I do here on the channel. There's lots of links in there. You can follow me on Instagram if you're interested in getting daily oracle cards on your feed. Follow me on Bilibili to show me some support over there. I'm not currently accepting private readings on Etsy. I will be soon. I'm just kind of currently in the middle of a very busy and stressful time for me outside of tarot, so I've had to stop offering them for like a week or two. But I will be back on there soon, so keep checking back if you're interested in that. If you're interested in giveaways and other rewards that I offer, check out my Patreon page and consider becoming a patron over there. And if you would like to donate to the channel and leave me a tip or a donation, or maybe even a new deck, then I have my PayPal link for tips and donations, and I've got 2 separate wish lists for tarot and oracle decks. One is on Amazon and one is like an independent indie deck wish list for decks that you can't buy on Amazon for whatever reason. So thank you so much to everyone who's checked that over, everyone who's sent a deck, everyone who has just given something back in whatever way that you can. And I hope you guys have an amazing month ahead in June, not just in your love life, but in all areas of your life as well. Take care of yourselves, you guys, and I'll see you again soon. Bye bye.